Nectar.
Verbal nectar.
Oh yeah!
So uneventful. Just
Yeah! It is time. The intro is playing. The video clips are playing. The metal's playing. It is time to get pumped up, excited. Why? Because we're here to talk about movies, which is what we love doing. We're here to represent one of the greatest genres of all time: horror, exploitation, action, all that good stuff, and occasionally the documentary, as you will. That's right. Hanging out, Raven Banners, son. That's right. The newest logo that's moving on up, getting bigger, getting popular, oozing badassity. That's right. So we got some producers, directors, filmmakers from Raven Banner here today to hang out with us in the Movie Dojo, hanging out. We got Michael Paszt in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Long time ago, well, it's not that long time ago, but I did a trailer reaction for Nail in the Coffin, which we're going to get into a little bit. Probably one of the best wrestling documentaries I've seen in years. And it was so
Thanks,
good.
man.
I did a trailer reaction to it because I was like, I always found the wrestler Vampiro so fascinating. And I was like, I got to do a trailer reaction to this. And then Michael hit me up. He's like, who is this knucklehead with this mohawk over here just having a blast? I got to contact this guy. So it's cool that you showed up on the show tonight to talk film with us, as well as bringing these other special guests in the house. That's right. We got Gabriel Carrier. How you say it?
It's close enough. It's
okay.
Career. It's like
all right, career. All right, good. Reese Eveneshen. I get it?
Pretty close.
All right, close. All right, I'll keep it all first named here. And Andrew Hunt. Hey, I got one.
You pushed that one too.
Oh, damn it. Damn it, Jim. But yeah, we're going to talk horror movies and grindhouse exploitation and just have fun tonight. Hanging out. Let's see who is here live. Movie Dojo Army showing up. All these badasses showing up to watch us. We got Jake Hall in the house, Eric Plantier, Lady Danish, Kevin Lambert, Heather Love. Oh, yeah. Slowly they will be trickling in to hang out with us as we talk film and then just enjoy the conversation of the badassity that is Raven Banner. That's right. All right.
Use that as our new slogan, Raven Banner.
Hey, let me know.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a call. I'll do the voiceover. I will do it for free. But yeah, got to represent badassity. That's how we do it. All right. Nail in the coffin. Well, before we get into all that, Andrew earlier was talking, before we went live, he was talking about he has known you, Michael, since the 3rd grade. What's going on with that?
I don't know, but yeah.
I've been following you my whole life.
He's stalking you. You're stalking him.
That's right. Yeah, he was the first guy I actually met in the playground too. So, and never looked back after that. So
that's it. Any bullies mess with you? Andrew took them out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we came from the dog patch. That was what our part of the town was called, the dog patch. So
The dog patch.
Yeah.
Nice. But let's talk about how you guys got into filmmaking. We'll start from Michael, and then we'll just go around. Let's do a little circle. Michael, what were some of your inspirations?
I'd say probably comic books and
Nice.
Comic books and metal and wrestling and all that stuff is my passion. Love
Metal.
Exactly. Yeah, I love all of that, and love action films and music videos. And I think that's how my first foray into it was doing metal music videos. That was my sort of thing, and then eventually got into distribution, and then Andrew was working as well, in even though we went to school together, we ended up having these parallel careers, and we ended up coming together and forming Raven Banner with a third partner.
Nice, awesome. Andrew, what were some of your favorite movies growing up?
Well, for me, it was Cronenberg. Cronenberg, the fact that he's a fellow Torontonian, his movies were just, mind altering, and not only did they have was he exploring some really interesting themes, but of course they were just bizarre and entertaining, with the scanners and the head exploding and the Videodrome with the those tumors growing out of where the bullet holes went. Like, it was just so fucked up and cool. But the fact that this guy was from Toronto was a huge inspiration for me.
Nice.
Yeah. And like Mike, so I went to college for media arts and ended up directing metal videos back in the 90s. And that's how I cut my teeth. I don't know if you ever heard of a band called Monster Voodoo Machine, but I directed a few videos for them back in the day.
Nice.
When they were going around opening up for Marilyn Manson's first tour, so that was fun.
Cool. And you got you're getting your feet dirty, getting gritty, getting the knit and the grit before you start evolving, which is you got to start somewhere. It's pretty cool. Directing music videos, how cool is that?
Back in the day, in the 90s, when you're working on music videos, it was awesome because they give you a budget and you can experiment all you want with lenses, just doing, you had that freedom to be creative and cut your teeth on all that. So it was a great experience.
Nice.
The 90s was a great breeding ground for talent. When you look at propaganda films, David Fincher, Spike Jonze, Michael Bay. So many of these, big directors all came out of propaganda films. They all started doing music videos and commercials back in the 90s. So, in fact, we were talking to a project today, and the director attached to it is a big name director, and he got to start back in the 90s doing videos and commercials. So, I don't know if that's still a breeding ground today because of the way that, music, television, and all that stuff has kind of gone the way of the dodo bird. But it was great back in the 90s, man.
Yeah, awesome. Gabriel.
Oh, what movies?
Yeah, what's some of your favorite movies or inspirations?
I would say, it always goes back to the ones I saw when I was a kid, right? So, like, my dad would pick me up from school on a Friday once in a while. We'd go to the video store and rent a VHS tape. This was in the late 80s, early 90s. And
VHS tapes? What VHS tapes? What is that?
A little cassette tape. Sorry, to all those newbies.
The younglings that are watching. What is that?
Yeah, so I would always rent, I was always able to get I was a kid, so I'd get Willow or something.
Yes.
And then he would get some rated R film. So when at night we would watch my movie and then I would go to bed. But my parents had French doors that were glass that led into the basement. So after I went up to bed, I would wait. And eventually I found out that I could see if I left the living room a certain way, the French doors, the door a certain way, I would sit in the stairwell outside the living room basement, and I would watch what he was watching through the glass on the French door, like the whole movie. He wouldn't get up because he would fall asleep during it. So I remember seeing Predator 2 like that, Commando, Running,
brilliant,
all those crazy B-movie action movies just on this little glass thing. And Saturday morning cartoons, I would be smart enough that he would leave the tape on the kitchen counter. So I'd get up extra early, get the tape, go downstairs, and so it's just a whole melting pot of stuff,
Awesome. I like how you think. Got to make it happen. Got to watch the good stuff. Reese, inspirations, favorite movies. What got you in the game?
Oh man, I mean, I've had a love of all things films for so long that I don't really remember where it started anymore. I do know that I'm sure, like a million other filmmakers out there, my first love was Jaws.
Yes.
I want somebody to dissect that someday and wonder why specifically Jaws is the in for a lot of people. I'm curious what it is about it that gets people so enthralled with it. But I was definitely one of those kids. So I would say Spielberg was a big deal to me when I was a kid, and George Romero. Like, George Romero was massive to me when I discovered that at a very young age. I spent a lot of time alone growing up. My parents divorced when I was very young, so I had a lot of time to myself while my mom and dad were working their separate jobs, and I would just watch whatever movies I could and rent whatever I could, and there were no restrictions on what I could watch. So
Right.
Hence the George Romero at probably 6 or 7. It was Day of the Dead was the first one I saw. So,
Ooh, choke on him. Choke on him.
Exactly. And I thought, like, what am I watching? Like, I shouldn't be seeing this. Like, what is this violation? People getting ripped in half. But from that point on, yeah, that was that really meant a lot to me. And I don't know, it's constantly changing my love of movies. Like every year, it's something new. I develop a new taste for something that I find, and yeah,
that's awesome. That's a good thing. It's always good to have variety.
Yeah.
You know, you're in an action movie kick. Oh, you're in a horror movie kick. You know, that's what's so awesome about movies is variety.
Exactly.
You know? But yeah, hit me up later if you get some free time. If you want to do a little Jaws video, come back here on the channel. We'll talk about some Jaws. We'll break it down. I always thought it was. I'm sure you guys heard this story already, but you know, we love Roger Corman. We got a lot of love for Roger Corman, but he's fun. But when Jaws came out, Roger Corman said, "We're done."
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard that story. It's a real interview.
Yeah.
Roger Corman said, "We're done," because he had the creature feature market.
Huh.
He had the monster market.
Right.
And then once Jaws came out, he's like, "That's it."
He said that. Wow.
Well, it's because they just took that formula and did it on a bigger budget and bigger scale. You know. So
yeah.
Kind of really screwed with what they had.
That's
like
funny.
Star Wars, same thing too. So.
Right. Go ahead, Michael.
No, I was just saying, talking about the monsters and all that sort of stuff. I just remembered my early sort of punishment from my brother. My brother used to terrorize me. He used to babysit me at night, and he would watch the Universal monster movies. But he would make me turn my back against the TV, and he'd watch it loud. So I couldn't see it, and all I could hear was the creatures and sounds. And I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old at the time. So he would crank it up and watch these Universal movies and terrorize me, and I couldn't fall asleep. But then he'd turn it off, and then he would actually become the monster and then chase me throughout the house.
Oh my God.
I would hide in the closet, and I could see his feet coming by. Like it was like a movie. I was just terrorized, and I always thought about who is it that's where did I get this from, right? And it was from him, you know.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Well, I feel sorry for
So
you.
I got to thank him now for all that, right?
Right. It actually turned into a positive thing later.
Exactly.
But yeah, older siblings, goddammit. Yeah, my oldest sister, she tortured me too with scary stuff. So I'm kind of, it's a little similar when horror movies and stuff. She did the same thing, but yeah, positive. Turned out positive. As you can see in the back, love horror. You got to represent the love for horror, man. It's awesome. All right, let's get ready to talk about some movies here. So over here, I don't know if you guys could see, got to represent Turbo Kid, son. Love Turbo Kid. Really, really enjoy Turbo Kid. If anyone has not seen Turbo Kid that is watching right now, make sure you guys represent and check out Turbo Kid. It's a lot of fun. But congratulations, though, Michael and Andrew, for the success of Psycho Gorman.
No, thank you.
Congratulations.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's been a fun ride, and it's been wild.
Yeah, it's like it's a cult movie that actually has a cult following now. Not like a failed cult movie where, like, for example, Snakes on a Plane, right? And the whole concept of Snakes on a Plane was like, this is the greatest thing of all time. Like when we heard about it, we were like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And then, of course, we saw the little, Samuel Jackson screaming on the plane, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, right? That whole scene, right? And we're like, this is going to be the greatest movie ever. And then we went to go see the movie, and we were like, oh, well, that happened. And it never really became a cult. It never really had this huge cult following, even though that's what they made the movie for.
Yeah.
But a lot of people love Psycho Gorman. I see people wearing Psycho Gorman shirts. Everyone's posting on, that PhatSamuraiGuy group page that they bought, the movie, and they love it. So congratulations. That's right. Raven Banner representing here.
I think it kind of, obviously Steve Kostanski is a hugely talented filmmaker. And this was, how many times have we worked with him now, Mike? This was certainly our second feature of his that we released, because we released his first film, Mamborg, which, speaking of VHS, we're actually doing a VHS release of Manborg.
Oh, I enjoyed Manborg. I liked Manborg. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so that VHS comes out later this month. That's our 10th anniversary special edition of that. But yeah, Steve is just such a super talented guy. He does all his own prosthetics and makeup, and he writes his own scripts. And he spent, I don't know how much, almost 2 years making that film. So it was a labor of love for him, and it shows, man. When you watch it, it shows.
Yeah, but congratulations for the success of the movie. Everybody's just loving that movie. But yeah, Michael, we'll go over to you and talk a little bit about your documentary here. Now, I already did a whole full panel, conversation with two other fellow wrestling fans, and we had fun talking about the documentary because they were fans of it as well. But nail in the coffin, Movie Dojo Army chat that's watching right now. Make sure you guys go out. Don't watch it, buy it. That's right, purchase it. That's right. It is fantastic. It's really, really, really good. And you can see, look at you got all the credentials right here, baby. That's right. Lot of good, positive feedback from fans and festivals. But now that I have the actual director here, let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. How was the filming process of this?
It was long. I mean, God, it was probably like 3 years of filming, I guess, something like that. Okay. It was a small crew. It was like two or three of us, and we kind of, it was like over 4 years, but it was like certain things. So we'd fly to Mexico City to cover an event. We'd fly to Los Angeles for a weekend to do something. So go up to Thunder Bay and visit him, and so it was over the course of a few years, of filming. But it was awesome. It was an amazing experience.
Nice. Now, I have to ask about this scene since I have you here. How scary was this scene for you? Like, I was nervous watching it. I was like, oh, shit, Karrion Kross. He's grabbing a chair. This is not good. Jeff Jarrett is going to die now. He is going to die. What's going to happen? So were you, like, freaking out, or were you just kind of like, oh, well, let's just let the camera roll, see what happens?
I had never met Karrion Kross at the time, and he came walking into the room there, and he was pacing around, but he came in the first time I saw him, and that's pretty much the image that I saw, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's scary.
And he had that look on his face, and like this is behind the scenes, right? This is behind the scenes, and so it's like okay, this guy's intense. And he's really the nicest guy ever. He's super, super cool, so smart. Like, I mean, he's a great guy. But he's, he looks out for people, and he does definitely look out for everybody. And when things are getting a little crazy, he came in and wanted to check it out and all that, right? So, but yeah, no, he was intense. That whole night was intense. It's like, you got 30,000 people in that arena. It's Triple Mania, which is Mexico's version of WrestleMania. And You've got all these people here, like everybody's alpha, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they have so much ego and testosterone and you name it going there. And it's wild. And so we just got like parachuted into this scene, behind the scenes there. And it was like, and we're just be a fly in the wall, right? Just our whole thing was, okay, let's just follow Vamp.
Yeah.
We'll follow Vamp, and Drama will follow him wherever he goes. Because he's running the show there, right? So anytime there's something happening, we're there. And so I kind of liken it to, organized chaos.
Yeah.
Almost like prison as well too, probably, because he's the one that was protecting us.
Yeah.
So, but it's awesome. It was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, it was a very fascinating story to watch, and you are right about Kross being a nice guy, because at first I was like, oh God, this is not good. This is no God, and then later you see Vamp with him. and he's kind of trying to calm him down, and then he's like, "Calm down." He's like, he starts apologizing. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I got a little heated. I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Damn, this Cross guy seems like a really nice guy. Just don't piss him off, right?" But yeah, very fascinating story, and just the extreme matches that Vamp was in was just brutal, just really, 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 really brutal. And him, living and growing up, wanting to be in some kind of entertainment business, which was interesting. He was like a roadie for a while, and then eventually he fell in love with lucha libre. But just it was very fascinating, especially him trying to raise his daughter, which he really, he loved to death and really cared about her. And a lot of times with these wrestling documentaries or real life wrestling stories, there's so much on the road all the time that it, like Ric Flair's documentary and stuff like that. Like they're away from their family. You know what I mean? They're not there that much, and that causes a lot of conflict with the family, with the wife, and stuff like that. But he, like he said in the documentary, he's like, if she's got to dance, I'm going. If she's got a performance here, I'm going. I'm gonna, if I need to take her to take these lessons, I'm taking her. He really showed that he had a lot of love for his daughter, which was heartwarming, especially when you have the flip side of the documentary, which is just brutal, and him dealing with injuries, like all the injuries that he dealt with over the years. It was very, very, very fascinating, and it's definitely one of the best overall documentaries, wrestling documentaries that I've seen in a really, really, really long time. So phenomenal job, Michael. Phenomenal job, my friend.
Thank you.
Clap. Get the clap going there. There you go. He's just go, thank you. There you go. But yeah, chat, Movie Dojo Army, make sure you guys check out Nail in the Coffin, the fall and rise of Vampiro. Excellent. All right, Andrew, it is your turn, my friend. Let's get into it here. So, tell us about this movie right here. This poster looks badass. This poster looks bad. This screams samurai, buy me now, because you're going to get some badassity here. Let's talk about Sweet Karma.
Well, if that was my first film, first feature film. Basically, as we were talking about earlier, Mike and I were cutting our teeth on music videos and commercials, and we had kind of been doing different things in the film industry for a long time. And we bumped into each other probably, 2007, 2008, and said, let's fucking finally do something together, because Mike had been working for another company, doing acquisitions, and I was working in television. And then with our third partner, another buddy of ours from high school, we came together and we came up with this concept, Sweet Karma, which is, very much inspired by films like Miss 45 and They Color One Eye. And we basically, I put a second mortgage on my house, on my condo. I'm still living in it, so that turned out well. And we made that film for $100,000. And that was essentially the birth of Raven Banner. Because then after that, we took it out and we sold it ourselves, and we started selling other Canadian filmmakers' films, and then other international filmmakers' films, and Raven Banner was essentially born out of Sweet Karma.
Love it. That's an awesome. That's an awesome story. But yeah, that looks like. I mean, is there tons and tons of action in it, or it's kind of selectively spread out throughout the film?
It's selectively spread out throughout the film because, of course, when you have $100,000, you can't do a lot of action sequences. But we did our best with it. And for those of you who buy the Raven Banner release of spare parts, you might just find a hidden Easter egg that might allow you to watch Sweet Karma.
All right.
That wasn't very subtle, was it?
There might be something there. Yeah. Buy the movie first. Buy the movie. But yeah, that's cool. The beginning of it all. But yeah, the poster looks badass, and there's a lot of positive feedback I was reading about the film as well. And speaking of positive feedback, spare parts, baby. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. Positive feedback. Fans are digging it. And all I had to do really was just look at the cover. That's it. I was sold. Like, no, there's no. Am I gonna watch it? It's when I'm gonna watch it. That's what this is. All right. We got some eye candy. We got some badassity. We looks like we got some Royal Rumble in the background. We got some weapons. I mean, come on. Let's talk a little bit about spare parts. I did enjoy it, by the way, if you were wondering. Yeah, like this type of movie right here. This is for, you know what? Get the beer, get your buddies together, get the pizza, get the popcorn. It's midnight, baby. It's Grindhouse horror movie midnight viewing, son. That's what this is for. That's the audience that this movie's for, which is me, by the way. But occasionally I'll watch a documentary or two. You know, I gotta make myself look smart. but yeah. So let's talk about spare parts. I will do the best I can to not go into spoilers because I want the Movie Dojo Army to check it out. But yeah, the Grindhouse audience, exploitation, horror, badassity, fighting, heads getting bashed in, son. That's what I'm talking about. You know that give you that adrenaline rush. You know what I'm saying? How many movies you go see and you're just like, now as good and as critically acclaimed as Get Out is, critically acclaimed Get Out, right? Mm-hmm. It's well acted. It's an entertaining flick. But at the end of that movie, I felt like Get Out gave me blue balls.
Right. Yeah.
It gave me blue balls. Like all the torture, the mental torture, and everything they tried to do, and what they were going to do to him. After all that, in a rated R movie, why are we having PG-13 deaths? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Like the crazy mother putting him in the Twilight Zone, and he's falling and all that, rubbing the cup and all that bullshit, and she gets killed off screen. This is an R-rated movie, right? Like, it's so lame. Like, he head stomped the son, didn't show it. I'm like, what kind of R-rated movie is this? Blue balls. I want head stomp that was in the movie Drive, son. But Ryan Gosling just, then I would have been like, because I was already invested in the story, then that would have been a little highlight, a little bonus where I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah. Get Out did not give me the fuck yes. It gave me the...
that was the thing. We wanted to try with spare parts to give you the fuck yes. We wanted to make sure that had the beats, that that the story was always progressing, and that it started with a bang. The original script, when it came to me, it was actually the girls were rock climbers and not a rock band. And at some point of the way, we changed them from rock climbers to a punk band because I wanted that punk ethos in it. And then, of course, we changed the opening to them performing in concert in a small bar. And of course, shit happens and they get into their first, fight.
That was really entertaining. But
yeah,
the opening sequence was.
Bang. Yeah,
I mean, the lead singer already was like, they were badasses themselves. Like, they were like, all right, fuck it. They're about to come up here and fight. We're going to fight. Stop playing. We're going to fight. I'm going to spear a guy into the crowd. I like how the singer was singing, and then she, flew the mic, hit the guy in the head. Did it like a Mortal Kombat scorpion, whipped back to herself, and she kept singing, It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I was cracking up. But yeah, let's see, when we go to the chat over here. The Sexy Sumo says, oh, wait, hold on. I clicked on the wrong comment. Hold on a second. But I'm sure it's Sexy Sumo. We want a Kurt Russell head stomp from Death Proof. Yes. Yeah, that's what we did. We didn't get that in Get Out. But yeah, here's his comment right here. He goes, hot chicks with mechanical killer parts take my money. That's what I'm talking about. Got to have some fun.
Yeah.
But so what was the, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that idea was pitched to us at TIFF probably 6 years ago. We were there, and this writer from Scotland came up to us and pitched us a bunch of ideas, and that was one of them. And Mike and I heard it, and we're like, that's a great log line. Girls getting kidnapped, drugged, wake up to find their arms have been removed and replaced with weaponry. So yeah, but even with us running Raven Banner, it's hard to get a movie made. So it took almost 5 years to get that movie off the ground.
Oh, wow.
We did a proof of concept for it many years ago. yeah, we finally got the financing for it, and we went into production. I think it was September 2018, and we shot up in Northern Ontario, so about 2.5 hours, 3 hours outside of Toronto. And so by end of September, beginning of October, it's fucking cold up there. So those girls, they were in wearing next to nothing, actually battling outside in an actual auto wrecking yard that we turned into this arena.
Yeah, that arena looked dope. It looked really, really, really good.
Yeah, and so we built that out of real crushed cars. And
oh shit! Wow.
We had to clear the ground there for any glass debris and metal debris, and then we put a foot of dirt in there to give them padding and safety. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm kind of on camera right now. And yeah, it was cold. It was tough. It rained almost every fucking day that we were out there.
Oh, wow.
We had 18 days to pull it all together. So it was a stupidly ambitious film for the money and the time that we had, but
right.
I think we pulled it off. Or
Hey, I enjoyed it. You pulled it off.
Thank you, man.
We had a good, really solid stunt coordinator. James Mark was working with us on it. He helped us really kind of put together all those scenes, and Andrew and him did scenes before the shoot, in his at his dojo, and they did all the work and all that. So it was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, that was.
The problem is that so many people are used to watching Marvel movies nowadays, and you see the action sequences in those, and they're insane, and they probably spend as much time working on those action sequences on one action sequence as we do shooting an entire movie. So we shot those action sequences. The girls rehearsed for about a month in advance, and we basically planned out every single shot. So in those action sequences, every shot that you see is the only shot essentially of that moment. We just got the shot we needed and then moved on. So we shot all those action sequences in basically 6 days. So,
wow. No
and then
way.
Then the other 12 days shooting all the narrative portion of the film.
Wow.
So yeah.
You made this in 18 days. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. But yeah, my next question, I think Michael kind of answered it a little bit, but did the girls themselves get any special training for all the fight scenes?
Yeah, so they did. They went and they did. They were all we cast them based on their physicality. All these girls, Emily, for instance, she was actually Jennifer Lawrence's stunt double in the movie Mother. So a lot of these girls, they had that background. So
nice.
So it was easy for us to teach them the moves. So as Mike was saying, James, our stunt coordinator, kind of planned out all the moves like a choreography, and then they came in and they learned the moves, and we shot them. So I would say a good portion of the film it's them doing their own stunts, and then anytime that you see them getting body slammed really hard, that's of course when you bring in a stunt double, right?
Right. As you should. That's awesome though that they were still capable to handle all the action.
Yeah,
as much as they could. I mean, that's pretty badass. This actor right here, is this Julian? Is that his name?
Julian Richings. Yeah,
good actor.
Yeah,
this guy's a really good actor. I've seen him in several things. I loved how he played a character called Death, or he played Death technically in a show Supernatural. He's really good. But yeah, everything I've seen this guy in, he's a really, really, really good actor. He just kind of steals scenes that he's in from everyone else that's in the room with him. But yeah, really good.
He's a veteran Canadian actor. He was in Cube. He was in Man of Steel. He's been in so many films, from big budget films to low budget, and that's the great thing about him. He's just a great working actor, and he's so humble and so kind and so giving of his time. It was a real pleasure to work with him.
Nice. Awesome. It sounds like you guys had a blast. No injuries, nothing serious.
No, there was one day where, again, we shot up in this place called Sudbury, and I learned only by shooting there that they're essentially surrounded by lakes, and at any given time, the weather can just change dramatically. And one night we were shooting. Julian was up in the dais, and we had all the lights up there and the camera up there, and this big thunder, lightning storm, windstorm just came in. We quickly had to take everything down, move everybody away. or else like we were fearful that the set was actually going to get blown over, and so we actually lost half a day of shooting because of that. But other than that, it was a pretty smooth sailing shoot.
Nice, awesome. And if there's any Grindhouse midnight viewing mayhem fans out there, just look at this shot. That's it. That's it. That badass shot right there. If that interests you, by all means, make sure you guys check out Spare Parts. But I love that shot. Flamethrower, spiked mace in the background. Yeah, it's a good time. Bloody as hell. I loved it. No PG-13 bullshit in an R-rated movie. Get the fuck out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out. Sorry, had to rant there. But yeah, Spare Parts was a blast. I did enjoy that a lot. All right.
Thank you. Glad to hear.
All right. Gabriel, how you doing there? You awake?
I'm awake. I'm listening.
Right?
It's just really, soaking everything up that Andrew and Mike are saying. And I'm like, that's Emily Tail in Spare Parts. And I remember Raven Banner picked up my very first film back in 2009, 10. If a Tree Falls 10 years ago, they were so supportive of us. Still nobody's. And Emily was like in the first 5 minutes of that film. So it's amazing to see her progress. And now it's like in these, crazy big grindhouse movies as a stunt and doing all this crazy stuff. So it's a trip to hear all these stories. I'm just sitting back, chilling, listening.
soaking it in. Yeah. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. But let's talk about your movie.
Well, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one? Well,
no, that's
an earlier attempt.
Yeah, that was earlier in 2015, The Demolisher. That was the film that I put all my own money into it, and just went out, and that was tough. There was no script, and
right. But look at all the positive feedback on this poster here. Now, that's pretty awesome. But the very, of course, Samurai Guy. What am I going to be drawn towards? Lives up to its title in its brutal intensity, right? So you got to tell me what this is about, man.
It's just a man who becomes unhinged. His wife has suffered a major accident, and nothing was being done about it. So it's just kind of this drama that unfolds at home, just the two of them. And, she's paralyzed, and it's just that tension that gets created between the two. And he slowly loses his mind and just goes down this dark path and finds someone who's innocent and uses them as a scapegoat for his vengeance on what he does on the streets at night. So that's kind of the end of it. And at the end of the film, there's kind of a turnaround. But
so he's a vigilante. He's a vigilante.
He's essentially, he's a vigilante. The movie is
I'm sold. That's all I need to hear. Vigilante.
It's kind of like the moments that you don't see in The Punisher when the Punisher is shooting everybody. That's the thing. Like, there's not a lot of action in it. It's kind of like the moments that are at home and the psychological warfare that's going on with him and his wife.
Gotcha.
But then when he does hit the streets, it's craziness.
It's brutal intensity. Yeah. Love it. I got to check that one out. All right, Reese.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no. I was trying to highlight some early work here, and I heard, "Oh Jesus."
Yeah, that's really going back.
I thought it was like, "Hey, don't play that movie. I don't want it."
I'm even in that one.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Dead Genesis zombies. We got some zombies up in here. What's going on?
I even saw Emily's name there.
Yeah, that's Emily. Emily stars in that movie.
Oh shit!
My God, I don't even know what to tell you about Dead Genesis. I shot that. That felt like another lifetime ago. I think it was 20 when I made that.
Oh my goodness! You still look 20 now. What are you talking about?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, let me see. Like I said, I was a big George Romero guy, as you know, and
right.
I wanted to do something that was set in that specific world, and that was kind of my loving homage to George Romero. We shot it for $6,000 back in 2009. It was just a little backyard project that I didn't think would really do anything.
Yeah.
we just went out and made it, and we shot it in like 15 days with some friends. Everybody worked on it for free, like off of $6,000. Nobody's getting paid anything.
Right, freelance.
And it ended up kind of becoming something. And these wonderful folks at Raven Banner, they picked it up, and thanks to them, they put it out in the world, and a lot of people saw it, for better or for worse. So.
Well, I wanted to highlight.
It's haunting me again today.
Oh no!
I can't get away from it.
Hopefully, in a good way. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You know what? Honestly, I haven't seen it in almost 10 years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to revisit it, but it's
but I wanted to highlight.
It was my first movie. It was my first feature film. So
I wanted to highlight everyone.
Night of the Living Dead.
No, let's not talk about that.
Okay, well, that was even older.
Yeah, but I wanted to chat and Movie Dojo Army to see your earlier works. At least they little history lesson for those that are watching.
Because Dead Genesis and If a Tree Falls, those movies. I mean, we shot them like 1 year apart. I think
from each other in the same woods too. Yeah,
Aaron, Emily, everyone was
right.
Yeah,
copy that.
They're like blood brothers essentially. That's what started. Actually, you're right. That's a good starting point to lead into Vicious, because
thank you.
That was kind of how we were already friends, but
right.
It's just funny that the kind of symbiotic relationship If a Tree Falls and Dead Genesis have, and the fact that they were both put out by Raven Banner too.
Yeah,
here we are.
10 years later.
Did you guys plan on, hey, let's do a movie together, let's do it, or just kind of just fell into you guys' hands? You're like, let's knock it out together, or did you guys I want to work with that guy and do a movie?
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. I mean, we've worked on each other's movies in some capacity, and we're usually acting in each other's movies for better or for worse. And acting, we'll call it that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been friends for over 10 years. I mean, we always meet up and we talk about movies, and we've been wanting to do something together, and we always joked about it and teased it, and nothing ever really came out of it. And then finally, after the release of 2 different features we did a few years ago, we're sitting in a food court, and Gabe's like constantly pitching stuff, and he's always pitching. And sometimes I just like glaze over as these ideas fly past me. But for some reason, this specific idea that would become For the Sake of Vicious just hit me right in the face, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Would you mind if I wrote that? Because I thought maybe I'll write it for him, and then it's something he can go make. Gabe, you start talking. I'm talking too much here.
That's pretty much it. And then he wrote it, and I read it. It's like, let's go shoot it, and we wasn't like that, but I liked the first draft, and then that's when Raven Banner came on board, because as you learn as independent filmmakers is just don't go out and take the first script you get and go shoot the film. Get some input by people who know how this stuff works, right? And it's like, let's bring it to Raven Banner and get their input on it and whatnot. And they were on it day one essentially. James and then Abby as well, the other 2 producers. It was this kind of a nice big circle group of everyone kind of moving it around, but it was essentially it was the same script pretty much. Right. Like some things changed. Like the original concept was it took place during a summer. Okay. In the summer during a blackout, kind of just like that. There's a movie in the '90s with Elizabeth Shue called The Trigger Effect. And I kind of remember that. I'm obsessed with that movie. I don't know why. It's so good. But yeah, it was great.
Nice. So here we go, baby. For the sake of Vicious. That's right. Love the poster. Nothing good this way comes. Love the tagline. And again, positive feedback. A lot of positive feedback here. But I'm going to be honest with you right now. Samurai don't bullshit. Samurai don't bullshit. I don't care who's a guest here.
All right.
Samurai's always honest. Okay. I fucking hate it. No, just kidding. Okay. This movie was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Actually, let me rephrase that how Samurai usually says it. This movie's not phenomenal. It's fucking phenomenal. That's right. These kind of movies, this is my shit. Where it's just a few characters in one same location, and the acting, performance, the hard task of the task that you guys had to complete of making it suspenseful, have that tension building and rising through the storytelling, and making it. I'm trying really hard to not spoil anything here, but I have a term here on the Movie Dojo. It scratches the itch, okay? And it does. Either it's an action movie and the action's amazing in there and I'm losing my mind. It scratches the fucking action itch. This did it for me for horror. Like, I really enjoyed this a lot. Like, I went in blind. I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't read the plot synopsis on IMDb, which I highly recommend. Chat and Movie Dojo Army that's watching right now. Do not click the trailer. Do not read the plot synopsis. Go in blind like I did. It's a better viewing experience. We don't know what's going to happen. Okay? And it's going to be hard to talk about this without, even with these screenshots. I don't even want to show these screenshots because I want to highlight some things. I want to spread the word because I really want the Movie Dojo Army to go out and check this movie out. And I love the panel of guests that we have today and the 3 different films, 3 different flavors. It's awesome. This is why we're here. We love film. We love talking about it, and you guys love making it. And yeah, so for the sake of Vicious, really, really badass. So I'm gonna let you guys do the best that you can, to explain the plot without spoiling it, and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, you kind of said it there, Samurai. I mean, we don't. In our ideal world, we don't want anybody to see the trailer.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I'll do the best I can.
Andrew go, sell your movie for the love.
All right, I'm going to click on some of these images. You can talk about the filmmaking process and the actors and all that fun stuff. But yeah, without spoiling anything, right at the beginning, when the nurse gets home, I was on the edge of my seat.
Good.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh shit, what is going on here? Like, what is happening? Like, wait, what the fuck is going on now? Like, what is going on with these characters? But somebody, without spoiling anything, has got some major beef. He's got some major beef. He's got an issue. He's got a problem with somebody. And it's with this character right here. And all the actors in this movie did a really good job selling it. And again, these type of movies, they're hard to do. People think it's easy. It's just a couple characters hanging out in one set. It should be easy. It's hard to do. It's hard to make that compelling. You know what I mean? It's very hard to do. That's why 12 Angry Men is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Absolutely.
And you wouldn't think Samurai Guy, that'd be up my alley, but I love that movie. And it must have been. I mean, imagine trying to sell that now. Hey, go to Universal Studios or a big production company. Hey, 12 guys talking in a room. The movie. Yeah, you like that? It's probably not going to work, right? But you guys made it work. With these such a small group. Was it like maybe 3 main characters, right? In a way, 3 main characters, right? Yep. And in the house. That's it. Yep. That's the movie.
That's it.
But without spoiling anything. Other characters appear, and cinematography was really good. You know what really stood out to me, especially in Spare Parts 2, I forgot to mention it earlier. I really like the soundtracks. I really like the score to Spare Parts and this film as well. It kept the tone and the feel of the movie where it needs to be. You didn't have any awkward rap music come out of nowhere, Hey, brand new Godzilla movie coming out. Hey, let's throw some rap music in the trailer. What? No, I love the movie. It was a lot of fun, but I was like, what is going on? Why you got rap music? Nothing against rap music, but it has its place for certain things, But cinematography was really good. Who was your cinematographer?
Alex Tong. He's also a Guelph native. There's a pocket of us here. Alex.
Copy that.
Shouts out to Alex.
But another thing about the film that stands out a lot to me is you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to trust. I mean, it was directed and acted so well. I was guessing. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on with this character now? The movie kept me guessing. It kept me on my feet. And then again, without spoiling anything, there's other characters in the movie. But all I'm going to say is when shit hits the fan. That's all I'm going to say. When shit hits the fucking fan. You like that? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. When shit hits the fan, it's fucking intense. I was not prepared. I had absolutely no idea the kind of movie I was about to watch. I was like, oh, maybe it's some kind of slasher flick or something, right? Or some biker horror movie or something. Oh, no, nay. It's something totally different, and I really enjoyed it. It was very unexpected. And well acted, well shot, really enjoyed it. But, of course, my favorite selling point of the film, it's fucking brutal, man. It is fucking brutal. It scratches the motherfucking gore itch. It scratches the itch. I was not disappointed with the gore. It just enhanced things. And again, without spoiling anything, was it extremely difficult to do the set pieces that occur in such a small space? Was that hard to do, or your stuntman just knocked it out?
Our stuntman knocked it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
You should also talk about the house itself, the location that you guys, had the opportunity to play in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the house was awkward because, it was an older home, but for some reason it was smaller. Like the stairwell, it was almost like a house for hobbits. That's like think about it. Like even like me and Reese, like if we went up the stairwell, like that's it. Like you can't have to. Like it was so narrow and small in the room. So when you're doing these takes, everyone is outside in the trailer or in another room of the house, and you just literally have the cameraman and the sound guy, our amazing sound, Dave Moffat. He was in that back room behind Nick there, that little dark shadow spot. That room was basically the sound room, and he sat in there the whole time. So when we just shoot in there, we truffle him out. But yeah, like Mike was saying, the house was just a strange house too. It was very characteristic. Originally, the film, it was like kind of like a bungalow, the house, long hallways kind of thing going on. We were going to build it as a set, but then that fell through, and Reese had some connections, and they hooked up this old house. And we walked inside, and we were like, we're going to have to redo all our storyboards, because him and I, the summer before, were acting stuff out in this basement. Yeah, we're, putting forks to each other's throats, and while we're eating Chinese food, planning that stuff, all that gone. And thanks to our incredible stunt team, what would happen is we lit each room in the house very eminently that was top lit, so we can get 360 degrees. So I was drilling holes through the floors, hopefully not getting electrocuted by wires, because this is a non-union set. Why not? And so we can throw corks through the roof or through the floors. And the camera department having a fit watching me do this, running out to Home Depot to get a drill, but it needs to be done, because the last thing we need is a black fucking cord that's going up the wall when the camera passes. Like, oh, there's a black cord that's with the light. So we made sure that all the lighting in the house was top lit, so our camera department can do 360. That way we could focus on the stunt team, and the stunt team wasn't limited. So you put them in the room, me and Reese left, they were with the talent, and they worked something out with the script, what we wanted, using our ideas, and then they threw all their amazing whatever they do. And Reese and I would come to set, bring in the camera, and it was almost like a dance. It was a ballet. And the stunt team were the stars of that, for sure, with the actors. Like Reese,
it was intense. It was
we're not
intense.
taking any credit for that, because that was TJ, Adam, Dorian, all those guys. Like
Nick,
yeah.
It was the fight scenes, funny enough, though, at the end of the day, were some of the easier things to do on the film, just because of the robotic nature of shooting fight scenes.
Gotcha.
And as Andrew said, I mean, we didn't have the same prep time that they did, but you would just work out the different sections and chunks of it, and then you would just shoot those specific chunks. And once you had those set up, it was just kind of, okay, go, okay, go, okay, go, okay, go. And the next thing you know, you were out of the scene, and that was it. The fight, it was over. It was some of the more tense, dramatic tension scenes that were the hardest stuff to do. But
all right.
The fight stuff, I mean, it's very it becomes more of just like you're working with another team and you're figuring out the science behind it, and it was still a lot of fun.
But yeah,
especially
the
the bathroom fight.
I was just getting ready to mention that the bathroom set piece.
The bathroom set piece.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, the bathroom was actually a bedroom. And Reese and I, when we got the house, we had to use the actual bath. The actual bathroom in the house was the size of a closet, so we had to use that bathroom to go, to go to the washroom with everyone else.
Yeah.
So we converted that bedroom into a bathroom. So Reese and I went on Facebook Marketplace, drove around, and picked up free toilets, the free sink, all this bathroom stuff. Ripped the carpet out because the bathroom had to be big. And now in real life, if you walked into that bathroom in real life, I don't think there's a bathroom that big in real life. Like they don't just exist.
No, not like that. No.
You haven't seen mine.
We needed to, because it wouldn't have been drawn out, I think, if it was in a small little.
Yeah. Andrew's is huge.
Yeah.
Gold plated, everything.
Based it off of Andrew's bathroom. So.
But yeah, it was intense. It felt real at times. I was like, dude, this is crazy, man. But yeah, fucking phenomenal movie. Really enjoyed it. And just had a blast. So Movie Dojo Army, chat. That's right. Check out For the Sake of Vicious. Check out Nail in the Coffin. Check out Spare Parts. Make sure you watch it at midnight with friends with beer and popcorn, baby. That's right. But yeah, I enjoyed all three of these movies. And now, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but what's coming out next? Future projects, plans? What do you got going, Michael? We'll start with Michael.
Right now, we're just focusing on our next round of projects that we're producing. For myself, I'm just looking for that next idea. Because when you make a doc, you're going to live with it for 4 or 5 years, so you better like it, right?
Right.
That sort of thing. So, but producing, we're doing a movie right now. We're in post on a movie called The Breach. That's very exciting. So that's should be ready maybe by the fall. So that one's good.
Any tidbits, or we can't talk?
Andrew, you want to tell a little bit?
Sure. That one came to us quite a few years ago, but basically I'm working on my new film right now called The Fight Machine, which was written by a guy by the name of Craig Davidson, who wrote a movie called Rust and Bone. Craig also writes horror novels under the name Nick Cutter, and he wrote a book called The Troop, which is a very popular book, and James Wan's company is in development on that one. So Craig, as Nick Cutter, wrote an original screenplay for us, which became The Breach, and we went into production with it last September, and it was directed by Rodrigo Godino, who helped found Rue Morgue magazine, and so that's in post now, and it stars Emily Alatalo, who's in Spare Parts.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. Emily should have been here with us tonight.
Yeah. Shout out to Emily.
Here, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Emily. You're always
welcome.
welcome here, Emily. Just give me a call. Let me know. Let Michael know.
It's amazing how many of our productions she's actually been in, all
That's
things
awesome.
considered.
Yeah, she's great.
Speaking about metal, we got Slash, who's on board as an executive producer and working on the score for the film as well.
Oh shit!
So we worked with him on a film that he produced called Nothing Left to Fear a few years ago. We had a great experience.
I like that. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was really cool film, and he did the score for that. He likes to do that when he has time, obviously between all his stuff. And then we were working with him with Rodrigo on another project. It didn't quite work out, and so it was just one of those things where it all kind of this came up and everything, the stars lined up, and he's now noodling away working on some music, and it's sounding really cool.
Nice.
It's nice to hear. You hear this stuff, like he just he works on some stuff for a scene and he sends it over, and it's awesome. So it's going to add a whole new another layer to the movie. So we're excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Oh, speaking of pumped, did you say Fight Machine?
Yeah, so it's more of a drama, to be honest. It's a drama, but it's about illegal bare knuckle boxing, and making Spare Parts was a great way to cut my teeth, because Spare Parts was my first film in 10 years as a director. And
Oh,
so to go
wow.
right from Spare Parts and about a year and not even a year and a half later onto The Fight Machine,
Yeah.
for relatively the same budget, same production schedule, it really helped us, or at least me, with these fight scenes. And so I'm really proud of the fight scenes in this movie. They're pretty brutal. So
Yeah, I'm sold.
okay.
Fight Machine with bare knuckle brawling in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Samurai going to check it out.
But
Maybe we could talk about it later.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you seen? Have you seen Rust
I
and
was
Bone?
just going to say,
Which one is it?
Have you seen Rust and Bone? The other film that's
Rust and Bone. I don't know why that sounds familiar. What's it about
it's a French
again?
film. A French film. It was directed by Jacques Audiard. More of a drama, but
Okay.
it was based off of Craig's collection of short stories, and so there's some similar characters, similar kind of world to Rust and Bone that takes place in The Fight Machine. So
all right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Cool.
But I'm just literally in post on that right now. Like just today, I delivered my final cut to our post house this morning. I did some final tweaks to it yesterday, and then we're going to start mixing it this month, and hopefully go through the film festival circuit and whatnot. So probably not until next year sometime will it see the light of day. And I should say that Spare Parts comes out via RLJE in the States on June 1st. So
Nice.
less than a month away. It's going to be on DVD, Blu-ray, and video on demand.
Nice. Make sure you guys check that out. Spare Parts. And keep an eye out for Fight Machine. That's right. Gabe and Reese, what's on the horizon? Because you kicked it off pretty badass here for the sake of vicious. Any plans, ideas? What's going on in the future?
I got one of the Avi Fettergreen. He's kind of developing a project with us right now. It's a crazy, I guess I could just say it's like a crazy creature feature monster type film that's a completely different vibe and twist. I haven't seen anything out there like it. I really like it. So
Nice.
with that, and then there's a few other things that, probably can't say, but there's more in the pipeline.
Yeah, you can tell me off the air. You can tell
Yeah.
me. I'll
I'm looking at
creature feature sold. Creature feature, I'm sold. Reese,
Yes.
anything coming out? Any plans? Any ideas of what you want to?
Much like Gabe, just kind of developing some stuff on the side. I saw last week that George Romero's wonderful wife, announced that before he passed away, he had written a outline for his final zombie film, Twilight of the Dead, that's looking for a filmmaker. So now I have a mission in life. I need to be the guy who directs Twilight of the Dead. I'm just saying it here. Then I'll be done. That's it. I'll be happy.
Make it happen.
That'll be
Make
full
it
circle
happen.
from watching Day of the Dead, and I'd be like, done. I'm good.
That'd be dope.
So
I approve of this. I approve of this decision.
Thank you. That's my mission.
You think a lot of other directors would be fighting to get at that script?
I'll fight machine their ass. Throw me in a ring with all of them. I'll beat them all down.
That's right. Cut your arm off. Put a chainsaw on it, like Spare Parts.
Yeah.
Fuck them up.
I will go through all of this. You've seen For the Sake of Vicious. I've got a sick mind,
Extreme death matches, like Vampiro's been in, right? Fuck it. Barbed wire.
Throw me in there, guys. I'll get this done. So.
Well, I didn't know that he did one more script. Wow, that's fascinating. Interesting. Speaking of zombie flicks, in your opinion, because now it's time for the fun questions now. In your opinion, Night of the Living Dead, Tom Savini, Tony Todd remake, is it better than the original? Anybody can answer.
Short answer is no.
Okay.
But that's a very difficult question because I really like his remake.
Right, it's pretty good.
It's pretty damn solid. But
Gabe?
The original is the original.
Right. Gabe? Yay or nay?
I 100% agree with Reese. The original is the original, hands down.
Andrew?
You always got to go with the original. You always.
Michael? Be a rebel, Michael.
I wish I could. No, I think the original just it's awesome.
Nice. Name some of the remakes that actually were good besides using this as an example, what's some other horror remakes that came out in the last couple of years? Well, horror remakes in general,
The Hills Have Eyes
majority of the
is a
time
really good
suck.
remake.
Which one?
The Hills Have, well, I mean, it's almost 15 years old, but The Hills Have Eyes
Yes.
still stands out during the whole hard horror remake thing going on. That's still, you watch that movie now and he's like, they just elevated it, right? And now there's a lot of remakes that kind of just do a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
And audiences are becoming smarter now. So to me, that's one that stands out.
Yeah, Hills Have Eyes remake. Actually rewatched that last year, and it's a straight up action movie. In the third act, people getting tackled through walls, fighting with weapons. Like it was a pretty badass action horror flick in a way.
That was the film where Reese and I always talk about this when we watch movies. Go, oh, they get there, but they don't. That's the film where they went. They turned up the amp on that right there.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Andrew, you had something?
I think the Suspiria remake was pretty fucking cool.
That too, that's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so you recommend I check it out? I have not seen it. It's
good? But again, it's one of those ones where it's just so different from the original that to call it a remake just seems like it's not doing it justice, right?
So it's like a reboot?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But like they both stand on their own 2 feet. You know what I mean? But to me, it's not like it's a remake in name only, because obviously it explores the same story and themes, but it was done in a very different way. Like they were not trying to do,
just copycat or
yeah, they weren't trying. Like they did their own, brought their unique take to the film, and it was really fucking cool. So,
all right, I'm gonna have to check it out.
I agree with you,
because I heard so many mixed things. They're like, "Oh, there is a disgrace to the original," and then other people were like, "No, it's actually legit."
Yeah. If you're expecting a paint by numbers remake of the original, yeah, you're going to be disappointed, right?
Okay, all right. Well, at least I know what to expect. I'll probably end up liking it then.
Yeah.
Cool. Michael, horror remakes. Any favorites?
I got nothing that comes to mind right now per se. What I'm just thinking, I think about like The Thing, for example, right? And not that the remake was but there was a first one, right? It was like a 1950 version of The Thing, right?
Yeah.
And then of course there's Carpenter's Thing, which of course is like, for me, that's one of the movies that
fucking
influenced
phenomenal.
me. Yeah, that's amazing. The other one, the remake itself, that one I don't think I've watched it in its entirety, and it's not because I didn't like it or anything like that. But what I'm interested about is that I think they got the book right, the original story. Is that right? Or is anybody like there's like an original book to the thing?
Who goes there?
Right, and so I think that what they're going to do is maybe make another one, and actually do another remake in that sense, but more to that, because I think they found pages. I think there was some like a section of the book. There's something there that it's like something kind of, they unearthed something. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Right.
But it's basically now like, open to being a new version. So I think it's Blumhouse. I think they're going to work on it, and I think they're gonna kill it with that one.
Oh man!
Well, speaking of that, The Fly, of course, David Cronenberg's The Fly was a remake of a 1950s horror film, right? And so that was a film that certainly I think was superior to the original.
Yes, so. I agree with that. It's just Goldblum is great. He's great in the remake, but the original had the help me. It's phenomenal. But I like the original though. But yeah, the Cronenberg completely surpasses it. Speaking of The Fly, I've never seen The Fly 2. Do you guys recommend that I should I even bother? Or it's actually pretty, or the effects are good?
It's fun to watch because it's more of, like Cronenberg's The Fly is, it's obviously a big gross out, but it's far more cerebral, where
right.
The Fly 2 is just a full on like creature effects show, you know,
Oh,
where it's like everything's dialed up to 12 and they just go full in with all the crazy effects. And Chris Wallace, who did the special makeup effects for The Fly, directed The Fly too. And it's essentially like a giant show reel for his company. It's not a great movie, but there's some cool shit in there. So
so the practical effects are cool. They're
I
worth
think
checking
so.
out.
Yeah. And it's trigger warning for anybody who has a thing with dogs because it's devastating.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yeah, scenes just like heartbreaking.
I'll have to check it out. You know, just to see those practical effects, man. It's all about the 80s,
wild.
man.
Yeah,
it's all about the
effects
80s.
Are wild.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cool films like, you know, during that time that really kind of, you know, became iconic. You know, you got The Fly, you got Alien, you know, The Thing, all these sort of these movies that have inspired all of us here, you know, right now, right?
Yeah, the 80s it's the greatest decade of all time. Sorry, I'm biased. No, there's great stuff now. But yeah, there's so many, like Michael was saying, so many iconic stuff did come out of the 80s. What do you guys think of I see the comment over here, Heather pointed out the I Spit on Your Grave remake. Did you guys see that?
I did when it first came out.
Was it solid? Did you like it?
I don't remember, to be honest. I saw it, and
you didn't hate it, like it was.
No,
like,
I didn't hate it, but it was one of those things like, why did they remake it?
And there's like 2 more movies, isn't there? Like I Spit in Your Grave 3 or something?
It's a trilogy now.
Yeah. Is it?
I hope with a different person. It's kind of fucked up as the same person, but unless you just go straight vigilante for the next 2 movies and just kills all the scumbags, which I'm all for as well. But yeah, there's just so many great horror flicks in the 80s, man. You got Reanimator, you know, and different flavors. You know, you got the horror comedies, you know. Oh, since I have you guys here, there's always this debate. I love Evil Dead 2. Poster's right up here. I love Evil Dead. I love Army of Darkness. I love the first Evil Dead. But the debate that's never going to end, but since I have you badasses here, I got to ask you guys. Was Evil Dead 2 meant to be a comedy?
Oh, for sure.
Or was Sam Raimi trying to do both? Was he trying to do both?
I always thought it was a comedy. I mean, I laughed from beginning to end. I remember seeing it in the theater. It was amazing. But that's where he wrestles his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's classic, right? You know.
But the very fact that he called the infected people, he called them Shemps after Shemp from the Three Stooges. That right there tells you everything, right?
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, plus there's so many Three Stooges gags. Even in Army of Darkness, there was Three Stooges gags.
Yeah, the poking in the eyes, and he was So, but the thing is that, of course, you know, we always have this debate at Raven Banner, like, because, you know, we have a lot of filmmakers bringing us horror comedies, and we sometimes use Evil Dead 2 as that that benchmark, because it was horror first and comedy second.
Right.
Like, like if anything, the comedy kind of cut through some of that tension that the horror was delivering, but it was not comedy first and horror as an afterthought. The horror was first and foremost in your face, and you kind of laughed at the uncomfortable, fucked up, nature of the situation, right?
Right.
So you're finding the comedy in the horror itself.
Right. Thoughts on the remake?
The Evil Dead remake?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's awesome. I liked it. The director took it and ran with it, and that's what was really awesome with it.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do another one. They got a lot of positive feedback. You think they would have did another one, but that didn't happen. Yeah,
and the actors in that, the woman who played,
she's great.
She was, I mean, that was if that was a make it or break it, and she did a really good job with that.
Yeah,
Hollywood is funny that way. They I think when they put expectations on something, they expect it to do like big numbers, certain numbers, and if it doesn't hit those numbers, then that's it. They just
the Judge Dredd, the new Judge Dredd movie.
And also executives are constantly changing guard there. That the person who greenlit it maybe is no longer in that position of power, and the next person comes along and says, no, I don't want to fucking continue that, series. So
Yeah,
it's
I think
a
it's
fickle
hard
town,
too.
man.
It's definitely because it's hard because when you're in Hollywood, the person who makes those decisions, nobody wants to take a risk all the time, because if they take a risk and the movie if something doesn't work, then they've lost their job, right? So it's hard. And that's why and also people do rewrites, if they hire people to do rewrites, like they feel they have to do significant amount of work to the rewrite, because otherwise they're not being paid, they're worth their money, right?
Right.
And so you get people who just keep on rewriting, and just because, and so it takes something for where it was good at one point, then it gets really messy because they've hired 5 people to rewrite it, when
Gotcha.
it might not have needed that, but it is a bit like Andrew said.
And that was produced by Raimi's Ghost House Productions, right? And I have to say, I don't know what they've come up with lately. Like for a while there, they were coming up with a lot of projects, film after film, and I think they've had a bit of a dry spell lately. So again, maybe they've lost their green light status at whatever studio they were with. Who knows?
Yeah,
we're certainly not Hollywood insiders up here in Toronto.
Right.
So
yeah, we're just having fun speculating.
Yeah.
But yeah, similar to, despite what people think about the Friday the 13th remake, it was a hit. And there was no follow-up. It's weird. Somebody said there was rights issues. Did you guys hear anything about that?
Oh, yeah, there's that whole...
Mm-hmm.
Is that why we never got another one? It's just strange. It was like a big hit, and then we never saw... You know how Hollywood is.
Like even the video game for Friday the 13th, I think even ran into legal issues over the last few years.
That. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I think there was a moment there a few months back where things started to get cleared, and then I think now they're kind of...
Gotcha.
Who knows?
Gotcha.
Well,
all right.
Did Candyman come out yet? No. I know that they've done a reboot of Candyman. They're redoing Hellraiser. They're redoing Firestarter. Wow. There's a lot coming out. So.
Oh God! Good luck.
I'd be curious if a new Nightbreed.
Good luck.
Nightbreed sequel.
Really?
That would be cool. Keep the first one.
Right.
I think the Hellraiser movie is going to be pretty badass.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. That
based on who's attached to it. Yeah, it seems promising.
Oh, good. That's good. Because it's like, ooh.
And same with Firestarter. The Firestarter one is actually shooting up here in Canada. I think they start next month, and it seems promising. So.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. That's good to know. Definitely. So to flip the script a little bit, different genres, favorite movies besides horror. We already went over through the horror, action, comedy. What's some of your other favorite movies, Michael?
True Romance comes to mind.
Yeah, that's getting a 4K release soon.
Yeah, I just revisited that the other day, and I was like, man, it's such a great movie.
It's a great movie. Did you would you have preferred the alternate ending?
No, I think no. Which one is the alternate ending? Where
she gets away?
Yeah,
she gets away with the money, and
yeah,
it's just her. She kind of turns on Christian Slater. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I remember that now. I kind of like it the way it was.
Yeah. Andrew, any other type of favorite genres? Movies?
Listen, I love a good Will Ferrell comedy, but one of my favorite films in my top 10 is a movie called Searching for Bobby Fischer. I don't know if you ever saw that one, but great film. And for those who are into the Queen's Gambit, they should definitely check out Searching for Bobby Fischer. It's a cool film about a young 10-year-old boy. It's based on a true story too, of a young 10-year-old boy who becomes he ended up becoming a chess master, I believe. So yeah,
right, nice.
Very cool.
I heard a lot of good things about that movie and Queen's Gambit. That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I heard that was phenomenal. Gabe,
yeah.
There's a movie that no one knows about, and I rented it at a blind buy way back at Rogers Video just because of the cover, because I was really into punk rock, and it's a Belgian film called Ex-Drummer. And how I heard about it is that apparently one of the programmers at TIFF wanted it, and apparently no one wanted it, but he got his in with it, and it played TIFF, and apparently it's bonkers. It is one of my favorite films. I have the soundtrack. I have the couple different DVDs version. It is so weird. It's like if you like Train Spotting and kind of those like real kind of I don't even know what kind of film it is.
It's its own genre.
Mike, you're nodding. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, years ago. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's wild.
What's the name again?
Ex-Drummer.
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 Okay.
Drummer.
Okay.
Belgians make some cool films. Did you ever see the film Calvaire?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a creepy movie.
Another great fucking
the whole like
Belgian film. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nightmares.
Samurai, have you seen Calvaire?
No. I'm going to check that out.
List, man. Add it to your list.
It's right here.
That's
right
nightmare fuel. That movie is nightmare fuel.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, that's the movie. Like when you have a nightmare and you're in it, you're like, I'm fucked. And when you wake up, it's one of those nightmares.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Like, I'm still in it.
I'm excited. I haven't seen a horror movie that scared me since.
It's not like scary, like ooh. It's like it's like
tension.
Yeah, putting you in that situation and just going
creepy feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese.
Yes.
Favorite movie that's not horror. Some of them, besides Jaws.
Horror.
You already said Jaws.
Yeah, I think one of my comfort flicks is 1980 Arthur with Dudley Moore.
Huh.
Absolutely love it. I don't know what it is. I think it's hysterical for one, but it's got one of the best performances from Dudley Moore. It's really interesting as the writer and director of it. It was the only film he made. He passed away shortly after, and it's like this amazing comedy. And it's they made a horrible sequel to it called Arthur 2 on the Rocks. Don't ever watch it. But I highly recommend if somebody's looking for a little something different. I really, really, really love Arthur. So,
all right, cool.
That's my comfort movie.
Hey, nice. We all
when
have
I'm not
them.
watching, zombies and stuff.
Yeah. One of my comfort films is The Warriors. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Love it. And I never knew that the iconic Warriors come out to play was an ad lib. Yeah. I didn't even know that because the director went up to the actor. He's like, all right, so they're waiting over there. So I want you to do something to kind of creep them out, something weird. And he grabbed the 2 beer bottles in the back of the seat and did the whole, that was it. It was ad lib. I was like, what?
That ad lib is used and sampled in so much hip hop.
Yeah.
It
just fits.
Well, look at Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver. The "Are You Talking to Me?" That whole thing was ad lib, right? So some of the, or even Dustin Hoffman walking in Midnight Cowboy, walking across the street and getting cut off by a actual cabbie, and he's I'm walking here.
That was ad lib.
That was ad lib. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Some of the best movie moments were the most authentic ones, right? The ones that were ad lib.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just heard the Thor movie was when he says it's a friend from work.
Yeah,
I heard that was ad libbed.
Oh, nice!
Or Thor thrown in there at the last moment.
Nice, and Thor Ragnarok. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
That's still the best Thor movie in my opinion. One of the best Marvel movies.
It is.
Thor Ragnarok.
It is. It's phenomenal. Plus, Taika Waititi, one of his inspirations for making the look of the film and the feel of it was Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of my favorites of all time. I just love that movie. The movie that was so crazy even for the 80s. Because the 80s did everything insane. That's why the 80s is awesome, because all the different risks they had to take. And when Big Trouble in Little China came out, people in the theater were like, what the fuck is this? Is this a horror movie? Is this an action comedy? Is this fantasy? What is this? It's everything. But yeah, I don't want to see no remake of Big Trouble or The Warriors. That's something that's been going on for a long time, rumors that they didn't want to remake those. I know The Rock was like, I want to be Jack Burton. I'm like, oh God, this sounds like a nightmare. Hey, just make a sequel and just have Kurt Russell be Old Man Jack. That'd be great. Have a little cameo or something like that. But yeah, there's too many good films out there. But yeah, I love The Warriors. But I don't want to keep you guys too much because I know you filmmakers are extremely insanely busy, and Reese needs a nap. We got to get Reese to bed. But this was awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I can talk to you guys all day about movies, but I know you guys are busy. so I don't want to keep you. But you're always welcome to come back. Make the Movie Dojo your second home. Any future projects? Anything coming out? You just want to come hang out and talk movies? Reese, Jaws, hit me up. Let me know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Jaws panel, son.
Yes.
All right. Make this channel your second home. You guys are always welcome to come back here, talk about future projects and stuff you're working on, or just want to hang out and talk about movies, which is what we love doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are killing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep making movies. Chat, Movie Dojo Army. Make sure you go out and purchase all 3 of these films. That's right. Nail in the coffin. Spare parts. Get that beer and pizza. And for the sake of vicious. That's right. Represent Raven Banner, the banner of badassity. All right, guys. See you guys next time. Anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up for today?
Oh, thank you very much, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
This is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime. You guys are always welcome back. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Raven Banner.